Hey, welcome back to video 28 of my 30-day YouTube challenge. That's big. Even saying that number is huge for me. The muscles are intact, the vocal muscles are intact, and the consistent muscles are here. And I feel warmed up. I feel really warmed up. And I think that the best thing that I could have done for myself was making this 30-day challenge as seamless as I could. And I did that by not putting additional pressure on myself to show up a certain way, to show up polished with makeup, hair well done and well groomed and dressed to the T. That was intentional. I wanted to come here with as natural a vibe as possible. And for me, as natural a vibe as possible is this. Because I know if I did that, and I knew if I did that, then showing up any other way would be so much easier. And it sure as hell is. Showing up without makeup, showing up with my beautiful natural hair, with my grays, which you've seen, with my cap on my head and my hats on my head, and relaxed has been the sauce for me. And I'm glad I did that. It got me to day 28 in one whole piece. And as you know, back in several videos, I've said, I believe in the wholeness and the expansiveness of well being. And feeling whole at day 28 was a goal. Feeling whole the entire time was a goal. So to be here on day 28 and feeling whole, not feeling fragmented, not frazzled about what the journey was like, not fixated on what I felt it should be like, but fixated on showing up and building the muscles and sharing my message and sharing some information and some details about who I am, some of my history, some of my founder story, some of my journey. Yeah, that's what was important for me. And sharing those tidbits, that's only the tip of the iceberg. Sharing those tidbits helped me navigate through these 28 days, and I'm so grateful. So that's one thing. The next thing that I'm super grateful for are the people who showed up. Now, one of the intentions for me was not to get caught up in numbers, not to get caught up in the audience, right? Remember that thing that I read for you? To conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back to the audience. I still have it on my computer. To conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back to the audience. So I did that, and I'm not focused on the numbers, right? Even though I did look at the numbers, but it was not an obsession. It has not been an obsession, and it will continue not to be an obsession for me. Like how many people are looking, and how many people are liking, and how many people are following, right? It's not an obsession, but there is a but. But I appreciate every single person who clicked like and subscribe and left a few words, said something. I appreciate you. I seriously, truly appreciate you. I went from 43 subscribers to today 95 subscribers. And I know that might be like a drop in the bucket for so many people, but oh my God, that is huge for me. I didn't tell anybody, like over on my other platforms and my friends, that I'm doing this. I think I told two friends, and they're not on YouTube. I think one of my friends is on YouTube, but I didn't tell anyone in my other social media networks in on YouTube, not YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Threads, Facebook, no one knows that I am over here having a challenge because I didn't want to hear anything from anyone that might have been discouraging. I just wanted to do it. Throw all caution to the wind, sit my butt in a seat or wherever, and show up for 30 days. And that's what I did. So thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting me because your subscription and your words and your like is a form of support. And I deeply appreciate it. I deeply appreciate it. So thank you. On day 28, like I said earlier, I feel a lot more confident showing up. So I know doing a weekly video is going to be so much easier for me to do now that I have done 28 consecutive days. Once this is finished, I will decide what day I'm going to post my video, whether it's going to be Tuesday or Thursday or Friday. And I will be bringing you lifestyle content, lifestyle of a 53-year-old biology, health, well-being, entrepreneurial, community building educator, and all-round life lover, mama, wife, friend, all of that stuff, right? No longer am I omitting parts of me as I move through the world, even in my career. I'm bringing all of me because I can't function in pieces. I cannot function in bits and pieces. And the funny thing, saying bits and pieces, my very first business was called Dixie Bits. That was a nickname that my sister gave me. And so it was Dixie Bits because they were always like, ah, there are so many different parts of you. You're so eclectic. And we love all of these little parts of you that you bring to the forefront. And that's how the name of that company came about, Dixie Bits. And so when I talk about bringing all of me into the work that I do, that's what I think of. I think of all the different bits of me that makes me who I am, the bits that I've been encouraged to leave behind while showing up 35% of myself because it was the right niche to be in. Like I said, the worst advice I ever got was people telling me to be in a niche, be in a niche, even when I was saying, but I can't, I love style and I love health and wellness and I love teaching and I also love to travel. Why can't I talk about all of it in the same space, on the same platform? It was like, no, you can't. People are going to get confused and they're not going to know, what you really are about. So you have to stick to one thing. The absolute worst advice. And now I turn around and every important influencer and creator is like, oh, you need to have buckets and you need to not niche. Do you know how my life dragged along because I refused to be niched? Literally, my life dragged along at the beginning of the social media revolution and at the evolution of social media because I refused to be niched or to focus on a niche because it meant that I wasn't showing up for myself. So, this is what this channel is going to be about, all of me, all of me. And that is what I mean when I say I believe in the wholeness and the expansiveness of well-being. When we are whole and we honor all parts of ourselves, all aspects of who we are, then we can expand. Then we can see those dreams come to fruition. Then we feel comfortable in our skin. Then we feel less scared. Then we feel less intimidated. Then we feel more confident. Then we feel more energized. Then we feel more inspired, right? See how that works? Then and then and then and then and then and then, because we're showing up fully ourselves, not in a box, not trying to fit in, but like I love to say, fitting out. So that's my day 28 video for you. A big thank you for supporting me and for being here and for showing up. And a big thank me for staying committed, for showing up for myself, and for having the courage to do this, for focusing on the orchestra while I build these muscles of mine to whip it out on YouTube. So I will see you tomorrow for video 29. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.